guys, follow me on Instagram to never ever miss any of my crazy updates. Hi guys and welcome to another vlog. I'm driving this. This is the Volvo XC90. Yeah, it's not really updated, only the engine is new. Rest of it remains more or less the same because it had actually got a facelift in, I think, maybe 2 years back or something of that sort. Let's quickly open the engine bay of this vehicle, which means there's a lever on the side, which is not very conveniently placed. And there, obviously, hydraulic struts. Engine bay is kind of dirty, so we're just going to do something like make an Audi logo here. My drawing is so pathetic, I don't know what I managed to make. Anyways, the engine bay is humongous and the engine is very chintu mintu. Can you see how much this opens? It's like 90-degree opening hood. Well, take that, Tata Ultras. I know it's going to be a bit of an effort to shut this, and obviously it gets insulation right there as well, and this is the lever which you have to actually click to open the hood of the vehicle. And where is the washer? Well, it is right there, but I don't know why all these leaves have come and made everything kind of dirty. Anyways, how do I reach this? I have to really stretch. Someone who's short is not going to be able to close this, obviously, so they will need a ladder. Meanwhile, you can see the car looks kind of dated, but still it looks beautiful. You get this chrome around the grille, obviously the beautiful Volvo logo, and a front parking camera right there. You get front parking sensors, and here you can see the indicators functioning, which actually takes the place of the DRL, the Thor's Hammer DRL, which looks beautiful. All LED lights, the lights look very nice indeed, very bright at night. In fact, it says Volvo full LED active high beam here, and the fog lights are placed lower down. But you know what? The fog lights get the cornering function as well. Meanwhile, there is a towing hook right here. Now from the side, it shows its length, which is almost 5 meters in length. The wheelbase is almost 3 meters, and it's a very big fat SUV which has a lot of road presence as well. The wheels are really nice. They're same as the old car. However, 275/45/20s is the size of the tires, and you can see, I mean, it's a very nice design for the wheels. There you can see the suspension. It obviously gets air suspension, and you can increase or decrease the ride height of this vehicle, which goes up and down by quite a bit. Here you can see the car is looking crazy when the ride height is at off-road mode. Yeah, it's very nice actually. Here you get another camera, yeah, because it gets a 360-degree parking camera. At night when you unlock the car, there is some light which comes from here, and then there is a light below as well to guide you so that you don't go in the wrong place. And there is chrome which is tastefully done. In fact, this car has got quite a lot of chrome. Everything very tastefully done. In fact, there's chrome around the door handles. There's chrome here around the window line, and there is this roof rail which kind of gets the chrome treatment as well. Let's open this. Now, one thing I've noticed with Volvo cars, everything is so well damped. Okay, if I even push it shut, you can't hear a thing. It's so smooth, it's so freaking refined, it's unbelievable. And from the rear, Maruti Ertiga, no. But Maruti's obviously copied all the designs. However, typical Volvo design language at the rear, of course, with vertical lights. It says B6 AWD, which is for all-wheel drive. This is the rear fog light of the vehicle, and Volvo logo XC90 written here. This is the indicator functioning at the moment, and there is a roof spoiler along with a high-mounted stop lamp. That is a shark fin antenna, and Faisal Khan's fingers of truth are disappointed because the exhaust is tucked below. Now with the facelift, this all happened earlier. It was very much visible. So where's the exhaust of the vehicle? There is the exhaust. Yeah, on the other side there must be another one probably. Yep, there are dual exhaust, which looks nice, and you can see the underbody, very beautifully done. These are the rear parking sensors. There's chrome here as well, which is quite nicely done. In fact, when you come and stand behind the car, when the car is locked with the key in your pocket or key anywhere around you, of course, the boot automatically opens. So it has got this gesture thingy for the boot tailgate opening, and this is one of the few cars when it is actually on. If I keep this button pressed, the boot actually opens. Yeah, that's right. If I keep this button pressed, the boot actually opens. I've never seen this happen in any car wherein the car is on and you're able to do this. That's kind of nice. I like it. Obviously, it's a power tailgate, and there's so much storage space. Firstly, this opens, so I don't know, it's maybe for a partition or something of that sort. Quite nice as well. And then this whole thing also opens. Below here, obviously, there's the spare wheel, which is not only not an alloy, but there's a smaller size tire I can't really read what size it is, but maybe we can just remove this. Yeah, 125/70/19 is the size of the tire. It's quite small. Look at that steel wheel, limited to 80 km/h, and obviously the Jag, Rose and Titanic is all placed here. Meanwhile, there's some storage space here. There's first aid kit, 12-volt charging socket. There's a hook here. There's a light here as well. Same is the case on the other side as well. So it's a practical cabin, and there's this chrome sort of a thingy which is also quite nice. Now, what I really like is that you can actually increase or decrease the ride height by pressing this button so that it's easier to load in stuff. So here I'm pressing this, so it's going to go up all the way. Yeah, it's going, but you will not be able to notice it here. I'm just going to drop it. There it is, getting dropped all the way. Yeah, oh my god, it's almost going to touch the wheel and tire. That's so nice. So it has this feature which is actually quite useful if you're loading heavier items. And then I think the boot is massive. You know why? First and foremost, we are going to put this back into place. Just get into place properly. Yeah, that is done. Now with the last row down, there's so much space, and the last row is fully flat as well. Okay, here you actually get a storage space for your phone. There's a cup holder as well. And what is this? AC vent placement right there. And on the other side, everything is similar. So symmetry has been maintained in this car, of course. Now, in order to put the seat back, it's a bit of an effort, because come on, Volvo, for this price, you need to have buttons. So electrically, I should be able to move the seat. Oh my goodness. Yeah, this is one of the worst things about this car. How can you have manually adjusting seats? That's ridiculous, Volvo. Come on. That's the reason nobody buys Volvo cars, because they don't stay up with times. In 2022, I'm doing this manually. In the Ford Endeavour 5 years back, I could just press a button and this would come up. Ridiculous. Anyways, here I'm just going to put the headrest up. It's easy to slide this back. Like, yeah, going down is easy. Coming up is a difficult part. Well, that's with everything in life, right? Going up is very difficult. Okay, no, it's the opposite actually. So now you see, even with the last row up, there is so much amount of space. It's absolutely crazy that you can actually carry luggage of 7 passengers. That's the size and well engineeredness of this car. I don't even know if that's the word. Press this button and it's a power tailgate, and there it closes. Okay. Now let's get into the rear. Firstly, it has got request sensors on all the freaking doors. And there is a sunblind, which at this price being manually adjustable is again very much ridiculous, because I would expect it to be electrically operating. Now there's a lot of good quality inside this car, like leather, and leather is Napa leather here. So first and foremost, beautiful stitching, really nice quality. Yeah, it's actually soft enough, but this is hard, and the door pockets are also large enough. Meanwhile, Bowers and Wilkins, beautiful speakers inside this car. Look at the treatment of everything, and you can lock the doors from rear, at the rear actually. And this is a chrome door handle, and there's this chrome lining. So quality of the cabin is absolutely phenomenal. Space though could be slightly better, but then this is a 7-seater. Now here's the thing, okay, press this, I can put the seat down. Okay, you can recline the seat into 40-20-40 to increase the boot carrying capacity. But if that was the problem you had of not being able to transport stuff, maybe you should have bought a truck. And here it's a different way of doing it. You have to pull this lever, and there it reclines. Okay, and then I can do it there as well, and then the boot would become massive. You can see there is some space below the seats to keep stuff, and there are proper seat belts as well. But although the seats are good in terms of quality, I don't think it's going to be comfortable, but we will get in there. Okay, now to put this back into place, I have to find that lever again. This is a huge task. How have they not managed to make it better? I have no clue. So I have to keep this pressed and then pull. Oh my goodness, I have to keep the phone down. I will not be able to manage it only without using both my hands. Come on, Volvo, you can certainly do better. This actually reclines, so I have to put this back into place, which means that I have to press a button, which is this button only, and then I pull it back. Now, nothing is a one-hand operation in this car, which is very much ridiculous. Come on, yeah, this could be so much better done. Oh, I'm already tired. I need a break at the moment, and this will recline further. To recline it further, I have to again press this lever and push it, and that is the recline angle. Obviously, it gets ISOFIX child seat mounts at the rear. Now, in order to go to the last row of seats, you have to press this lever. There it raises, and there you can push it as well, and that's the maximum it will go. So we are going to get inside, which is going to be quite a bit of a task. There's some storage space in the center, which is nice, and legroom and kneeroom is absolutely zero here. There's no space at all. Oh my god, there is no headroom also. My head is touching. Obviously, I'm very tall, and here there is a speaker. I don't know what this is, but there are light placements on the top as well. Okay, they have actually made it properly so that your head doesn't touch, but my head still touches. There's absolutely no space for adults in the third row of seats, but for children I think it's kind of manageable, because you see, under thigh support is an alien concept for this Volvo car. If I put this back now, here, let me try that. No, that doesn't work. Okay, let's push this ahead, and getting in and out is also a difficult task. What a Volvo with something as loose and weird. Well, that is I think for the air conditioning, but that's kind of weirdly done. I can't really get in and out from the third row because it's like acrobatics, not my kind of stuff. And then whoa, the Mercedes GLS will teach you how this is done better. Anyways, let's get inside. Here you can see hard plastics. There's a magazine holder here as well, which kind of doesn't open properly. Yeah, there's decent amount of knee room and leg room. Under thigh support is okay, not that great, and then headroom is actually good here. Let's shut the door, and there shuts with a proper thud. There's this sense of softness inside somehow. It doesn't feel, I would not say it's not rugged, but quality is so good that it doesn't thrash through things. There's this sticker which someone has applied, I don't know for what reason, and there is a center armrest here which gets 2 cup holders as well. That's kind of nice and useful. And there's this, I don't know what. Let's shut this. Seats are really very comfortable. Napa leather, of course, and a bit stiff, but that's fine for longer drives. And there are AC controls here because it gets a 4-zone climate control air conditioning system, which will not work. Okay, there it is. Yeah, I've just turned it on. I don't know why it's in a mind of its own, why it's not turning on. Anyways, you get the gist, guys. But then because this intrudes, so third passenger would not be welcome. And there's a sort of a hump here as well. Meanwhile, there are 2 USB charging sockets which seem to be USB-C to me, Type-C. The dashboard design looks the same as before, which is quite attractive, but again little dated. And then this massive panoramic roof brings in a lot of airy feeling inside the cabin, and seatbelt gets the height adjust function. There's a hook right there, and there's a light placement here on the top. I don't know what this is, but there's a handle and there's another hook, so it's a kind of practical cabin. I think it's a fantastic car for 4 people. 4 people, I'm saying specifically 4 people, which means that you should get the 4-seater version, or maybe the 3-seater one, which is a 3-seater one. Obnoxious space inside, absolutely crazy. Now, they actually removed headlight washers from this car, and Volvo keeps removing stuff because that's what they do. And this is for the BLIS, BLIS, which is blind spot information system, which will actually light up first and then it will blink, and it can also make a sound, although it's turned off in this car. I don't know why. Okay, door pockets at the front are also large enough. You have to press both this to actually shut the outside rear view mirrors. Yeah, you have to press both these buttons, left and right, and this is for the outside rear view mirror adjustment. These are the power window controls, and it obviously gets child lock as well. Again, beautiful finishing, lock, unlock the vehicle. Memory seats for both the front seats, and you can save up to 3 people's settings. So yeah, that's kind of nice. And then the seats can be adjusted in multiple ways. Under thigh support is never an issue because look at this, it comes all the way outside. It keeps going on and on and on. So yeah, comfortable seats. The seats are really very awesome in this car. And this actually illuminates at night the borders, of course. There's a proper dead pedal right there, and there's some storage space here, which is not that big, but okay, it's enough to hide your cigarettes. This is to open the boot of the vehicle, and this is for the headlight leveler of the vehicle. Let's do one thing, let's get inside, but it's telling me the recommended tire pressures right there, and it says since 1959 on the seat belt buckle. Okay, I get it. Anyways, there's the Swedish flag here, of course. Just to tell you, you know what, even though Chinese people own this company now, but still, we are Swedish at heart. Well, I buy that. Anyways, let's get inside. First and foremost, let me turn off the indicator. Now, the dashboard design is really nice, but this is outdated. This is a 9-inch unit, and unlike the S90, XC60 and all the latest Volvo cars, this does not get the Android-based system. In fact, it uses the Senses OS, I believe. That's the reason I kind of like it, because I don't like Android at all. This is a fingerprint magnet, firstly. Secondly, now you can just browse through like this and get into all the information, which is a good thing because it's just so much easier to operate and get into the menu. Here, you get all the functions, like all the safety systems inside this car. Roadside information will tell you what is the speed limit. Right now, there is no road around. Okay, it still tells me it's 60 right there because this is an off-road patch, of course. And then in the heads-up display also, it's telling me 60 kilometers per hour. And obviously, it shows me the speed as well in the heads-up display. You can adjust the passenger seat from here by activating it, and then I can actually move it ahead or behind. Yeah. In order to move it ahead or behind, I have to use the controls on the driver's side, of course, and then you can actually like press a button here to activate seat adjustment, which is for lumbar and for various functions. In fact, it also gets massage, and they are swell, tread, advanced, lumbar, shoulder. 5 different types of massages available, and you can go for slow, normal and high intensities, and speed also you can vary accordingly. Slow, normal and fast. I'm just going to turn it off. And you know what, even if the co-passenger presses the massage function, it goes up and down and shows you both of them here. Now get to the back menu, just press this button. A lot of features are actually present here. It says collision avoidance. These are the controls for the air conditioning. Air conditioning works very well. It's a 4-zone climate control air conditioning system. And the good news is that they have also now come up with another thing inside this car, which is clean zone, which is sort of an air purifier, but not really that. And you can see the zones are here. So when I turn on the air conditioning, yeah, I can change the temperature here. This is also quite nice and neatly done. And it also gets the cooling function for the seats, which is known as the ventilation. It also gets heating, and both of them can be simultaneously turned on. And you know what's the funny part? If I leave this on and leave the car, when I turn on the car next time, it remembers that I had actually used the ventilated function of the seats, and it will continue to be on. And when I keep the sunblind open at night, you know, when I exit the car, later it will automatically close this. That's also kind of cool. Here, let's open the sunroof of the vehicle, which is actually quite big and brings in a lot of airy feeling. So even though the cabin is dark, you never actually complain, because yeah, the sunroof opens quite a bit as well. Let's just shut this. Very smooth. Everything inside this car is ultra smooth Pro Max, which I really like. Okay, now in order to open the glove box, there's a button here. I press this button and there the glove box opens. And you know what? The glove box has another compartment on the top wherein I have kept this mic. Yeah, there's another compartment. So it's a very practical glove box. That's really nice. I love the way Volvo is doing so many practical touches inside this car. Really very coolly done. Okay, these are actually controls for the air conditioning. This is for the volume, and listen to the sound, okay? It is so freaking reassuring. Anyways, let's get out of here. Wireless phone charger you can turn on and off if you so wish. So you can control everything, and it's very much easier than the Android system which I use in other Volvo cars. I really do not like it. You can get into ESC Sport mode. You can get into the drive modes, and there are multiple drive modes, of course. And it tells you eco is efficient drive, comfort is everyday use, individual is personal driving preferences, dynamic is high performance, and off-road is rough road. So it kind of teaches me all this, so I don't get confused what I'm up to. And it also gets, okay, let's get into reverse, and then you will see it. It gets a reverse parking camera, which is beautiful, obviously, because it's very clear and it gets adaptive guidelines as well. But what I really like is that it also gets self-park, okay, which actually works quite well. Very easy to work. I mean, it shows you a bar here, and it's very informative and easy, and very easy to understand as well. However, it's got park out. So when I press park out, it says use blinker to choose side. I have chosen that. It says free path. Please park out yourself. Why do you even have this feature if every time when I do this, you're going to say do it yourself? That's kind of ridiculous, because I just hope it doesn't tell me about forward collision warning. You're about to collide with another car, but since it's a free path or a free road and you have brakes, just apply the brakes yourself. I expect this Volvo to do that, because it tells me that, and then you can zoom in the camera if you so wish. Then there's this 360-degree view, so you can decide individually what you want to see. This could be much better done. I don't like the way it has been done. And then you can turn on and off the lines if you so wish, and you can turn off the alarm and sound system as well, in the sense the buzzer and the warning and stuff. So this is the 360-degree camera. Come on, Volvo, you could have done it better. Look at the kind of cameras BMW is doing. Even Land Rover is doing amazing cameras, but this is a little lackluster. And you know what? If some obstacle is around me, instead of showing me this view, it shows me the 360-degree parking sensors view. Come on, I need to see the camera. Maybe that is something which can be programmed somewhere or the other. Otherwise, yeah, it's a little dated. It's a little small. The screen, 9-inch unit. We need a bigger screen for sure. Now, you get a crystal gear lever, which is absolutely beautiful. You actually unlock the car at night. This glows. It says Ori for Sweden, but it's such a sexy looking one. It's so nice to touch as well. I love it. Okay, this is straight away to get into park. Now, this is to turn on the vehicle. This is the start engine stop button, which is quite funky. It's really amazing. This is the electric parking brake, and this is for the auto hold function of this car. So yeah, everything is done so nicely. And here there's a 12-volt charging socket. Okay, you just press this and it closes, and then there is a good amount of storage here, like twin cup holders here, and there's a wireless charging pad as well. And below the front center armrest, there's storage space, but there are 2 USB charging sockets as well. So you have a very thoughtfully designed cabin, but because this is all gloss black, it is really a big fat fingerprint magnet, and there is Bose and Wilkins written right there. It has got 19 speakers for the audio system. Absolutely stunning audio. Let's do one thing. Let's listen to an audio right away. You can actually decide how you want the audio system to perform, and all these options are there, like studio, individual stage, concert hall, and jazz club. Absolutely phenomenal audio system in this car. Really very nice, amazing to say the least. The best, one of the best audio systems I have heard. Now let's get into park. The problem is when you get into drive now, you don't have to press it once. You have to actually press it twice, because see, by default it is in park, and then when I press it once, I get into neutral, then I can get into drive. It's a bit cumbersome. I just need to press the lever once, right, to actually get going. No, it doesn't happen that way. Anyways, material quality is nice. It's kind of soft touch here, and when I get into reverse, you can see there the mirror will go down. So it has that attention to detail just to make my life easy. And obviously it gets an auto dimming mirror, plenty of light placement on the top. Here you get a mirror along with the light. Same is the case here as well. You get a mirror along with the light. There's a handle on the driver's side as well. And it says IntelliSafe on the top. I don't know why it's written there, because it's kind of camouflage with the black color. Meanwhile, the steering wheel is similar to other Volvo cars. It's a nice looking unit for sure. The horn is actually nice. These are actually the controls for the audio system. Okay, this is to increase the volume, this is to go to the next track, and this is a button. If you press, you can actually get into the map function. Well, that's about it. Okay, it's kind of unmuted also. So this button, it works for multiple things. This is for voice command, and you press this button, and there you can navigate through a lot of information like trip data and blah blah blah. Most of it you actually do not need as well. However, this 12.3-inch instrument cluster is a bit dated now, because it's kind of plain and basic, and there are no multiple views for the same, although it gives you all the information. You can see below here, you can get all the information, distance to empty and stuff like that, telltale lights as well. And this is obviously for the lane keep assist. So yeah, informative but not funky enough. And these are the controls for the cruise control, for the adaptive cruise control, pilot assist, and all this stuff, because it obviously got a slew of safety systems, ADAS technology. These are the controls for the lights. This is for the front fog, this is for the rear fog, and this is to get into the auto function. Okay, it's got automatic headlights. It has also got automatic wipers, and wipers work really well, because obviously they have to at this price. In fact, the spray is hidden. You can't see from where the spray is coming. I think the spray is actually coming out from the, yeah, from there it comes out. So it's very nicely done as well. And the rear wiper also works very nice. You can see the spray at the rear is even more, like twice as much. Beautiful, very nicely done indeed. And the steering wheel gets adjust both for reach as well as rake, so you can obviously get your perfect driving position too. I think it's got 9 freaking airbags. That's a lot of airbags. Let me do one thing. Let's turn off the car. Here I've turned off the car, and there it kind of shows me nothing. You know what, when you actually turn on the car at night, it shows this sort of a graphic which comes on both the screens, which is very cool. And then it's got only one color for the ambient lighting, which happens to be yellow. In fact, you can see it here as well. Like, yeah, that is the ambient light. Okay, not very nicely concealed here. Now, what we're going to do is we've just exited the car. So, first things first, I'm going to remove the key of the vehicle, and I'm going to lock the car. Now you would expect that when you unlock the car, everything will open, and obviously it does. But let me show you the key for a moment. So this is the key of the vehicle, and this is to lock the car, this is to unlock the car, and this is to open the boot of the vehicle. Key is a nice looking unit, and then this is for sounding the horn to spot the car in case you lose it. Yeah, I found you. Shut up. Okay, now let's just keep this button pressed, and when you keep this button pressed, all the windows roll down, which is something you would expect in cars of this price. Yeah, everything is rolling down very smoothly, very nicely, very subtly. However, the sunroof is unaffected. The sunroof does not change, and I don't know what this is. Can you guys find out and let me know in the comment section below? So the sunroof will not budge. It will be as it is. Maybe that's something which they missed out on. You can see here in the cluster, it tells me exactly which seatbelt is not worn. And even if I open the door, it tells me that. So graphics are actually nice, but kind of dated. And there you get a ticket holder as well. Although now we have FASTag, which also works very slowly. By the way, when you get into the climate control system now, you can actually decide how you want the rear climate control to be. So first and foremost, we need to turn on the fan, otherwise that's not going to work. So here we are, and then I can get into rear climate. I can decide second row climate. I can decide third row climate as well. This is amazing. Very nice. So they've relied everything on the touchscreen only. Some physical buttons would not harm at all. And the best thing is when you turn on the car, it shows you a list of safety features this car has, which is amazing. Just to remind you, you know what, whatever you have paid, you've got your money's worth. But does the engine justify the price? Let's go! Alright, we're all set to go, which means first and foremost, you have to turn off this ventilation because it makes a lot of sound. And then we're also going to turn off the air conditioning. Yeah, this could be a little bit more intuitive. Why can't they have physical controls? Air conditioning off completely. We get back into the menu, and I'll just keep it here for the moment like a ready reckoner, because we have to get into drive modes. We're going to get into dynamic first, and then I need to come back again, and then I need to get into ESC sport mode. We are into, okay, it's already in manual, that's a good thing. Left foot on the brake, right foot on the accelerator, revving the motor, hazard lights off, and off we go. Oh my goodness, this is absolute smooth performance. Okay, there's a lot of tech involved here. First and foremost, this is actually a 2-liter engine. Yes, that's right. A 2-liter 4-cylinder engine in a car this big. What is Volvo doing? Magic probably, because this one produces 300 horsepower. You know what? When you leave the throttle also, the car is just pulling ahead. That is the level of grunt from this motor because it has got a lot of tech. Firstly, it's turbocharged. Okay, this 2-liter 4-cylinder engine gets turbocharging, which is normal, right? Of course. But it also gets a 48-volt starter generator. Yeah, it is a mild hybrid, so it gives an additional, I think, 13.4 horsepower, which also is normal. But then because it's a 2-liter engine and has to compete with 6-cylinder counterparts, it has been given supercharging as well. Yeah, a crankshaft-driven supercharger. The result is 300 horsepower, and the torque output is an equally impressive 420 Newton meters of torque. I know it's 60 Newton meters less than the diesel it replaces, but 65 horsepower more you get with the petrol engine, and overall grunt is very nice. You know, no matter what the revving, now there's always some amount of grunt on offer because it's always pulling so nicely as well, and brakes also very nice and strong because obviously it's a Volvo. It has to be extremely safe, and there's no issue over bad speed breakers also because you can clear them without any hesitation whatsoever. So 300 horsepower and 420 Newton meters of torque means that this car is actually going from 0 to 100 kilometers per hour in an impressive 6.7. You can see that is blinking. Okay, the blind spot whatever monitor is blinking. So yeah, 6.7 seconds to go from 0 to 100 kilometers per hour, and this engine doesn't have a flat spot as such. The only problem is that there are certain, I mean, on and off transitions from the engine. So at certain revs, the engine is kind of dead and it's waiting for the thing to spool up. And at certain speed, it's just like too aggressive and it's all of a sudden just going ahead aggressively. You know why? There is some method to this madness, because when the supercharger is pumping in something, or the turbo is pumping in something, or the electric motor is pumping in something, the transition in between creates that lag. So there's no linearness in the power delivery. Either it's okay, there you can see this is obviously the forward collision warning, which blinked without any reason because I don't think there was anyone. Maybe Mr. India was walking right ahead of me. He's not visible, you know that, right? So yeah, I like how Volvo has been able to make this engine kind of replace the diesel with enough power and 2 liters, because Volvo only does 2 liters. Okay, it doesn't do anything more than that. 4 cylinders, that's it. Okay, and it has to compete with more powerful alternatives, but this engine gets the job done because it's punchy enough. Firstly, drivability is absolutely phenomenal here because the starter generator with the battery assist at lower speeds ensures good drivability. So yeah, low end punch is really very nice, and mid range is also quite nice, and then top end is kind of a screamer, literally a screamer, not in the sense that it's going very fast, but it screams all the way to the red line, which happens to be slightly above 6,000 RPM. So yeah, a lovely engine indeed. And then they have a recharge version as well, which is having 2 electric motors, and it is a PHEV, which is, you know, now plug-in hybrid electric vehicle. That one offers even more grunt. That goes from 0 to 100 kilometers per hour in 5.4 seconds. You know, these numbers are absolutely overwhelming considering this car weighs a crazy 2,500 kgs of whereabouts. And then we are going to just get onto the throttle and realize that it's an extremely refined motor. It's so smooth, it's ekdam silent, it doesn't make any noise, but because I'm driving it over 4,000 RPM, obviously it becomes quite vocal there. There are no paddle shifters on offer. Are you for real, Volvo? How do I shift gears? Well, I can get into manual mode, which I am right now, and then if I move the lever to the right, we are upshifting. If I move the lever to the left, we are downshifting. Here we are in second. Gearbox has been improved. It's more smoother now, but it takes its own sweet time. It's kind of on a vacation, I think. It's a holiday for the gearbox because it doesn't really respond fast to downshift, and it's a 8-speed torque converter unit. Paddle shifters are sorely missed, but there are 5 freaking drive modes on offer. There's a comfort mode which takes everything very easy. There's an individual mode wherein you can calibrate a few things here or there. There's an off-road mode which increases the ground clearance to 252 mm, which is more than ample to go off-road for a soft road. I mean, a car based on a monocoque platform. You know, this is the SPA platform, which is scalable product architecture, whatever. I don't remember, I don't care, because this is a car which has its own identity in the way it drives, the way it feels. It's very smooth, it's very refined. All the people who hate me for saying bad things about Volvo cars are like, in shock, Faisal kya bol raha hai? Well, I'll tell you what, among all the Volvos, this one is the one I like the most. Okay, because they have not removed the soul yet, which they have done from the XC60 and the S60 and the S90, because you get drive modes here, you get sport mode. I mean, you can put the sport mode into sport. what am I saying? Yeah, sorry, I'm saying traction control can be put into sport. You confused me there, Volvo. So yeah, that's an enjoyable thing, and then it doesn't really make a difference if you get into manual mode because it will not hold on to a gear. It will decide to upshift when it feels. I'm feeling hot on my seats. I was wondering if heated seats are on or not, but no, they are not on. So yeah, and thankfully traction control doesn't turn even when you keep driving very fast or go above a certain speed. So I'm just going to come to a halt here. Like, brakes are fantastic. There's so much grip on offer. It's absolutely crazy. And here, left foot on the brake, right foot on the throttle, revving the motor, and off we go. I don't understand why they did not give paddle shifters. Like, that's a mandatory thing. Yeah, it has to be there. I mean, everyone offers paddle shifters. Cars like half the price also offer paddle shifters, but Volvo's like, no, we are not going to offer this. Now, fuel efficiency should be between 6 to 8 kilometers per liter depending on your driving style, and this one has a fuel tank capacity of around 70 liters, which is decent enough. But yes, I do miss the diesel because obviously diesel is a diesel. Now, the ride quality seems slightly better than before. They have worked on the ride also. Earlier the car was very sporty and it was very stiff. Now it's slightly less sportier, slightly less stiff, so the ride has improved slightly. Again, like, it's not a world apart, but yes, it feels so much better now over bad bumps, but still you can't deny the fact that it is on the stiffer side. So the ride is very European. It's like the suspension has been calibrated to be stiff, and the reason is very simple. They have to have a stiff suspension because it's all about high speed stability, which it reaches, by the way. 180 kilometers per hour is the top speed limit. Okay, but you know what? It actually does more than 180 kilometers per hour. In my dreams last night, I was driving this car and I did more than 180 kilometers per hour. Just saying. So I don't think this car is limited. Although Volvo's website doesn't tell you how much power or torque this car produces, but it will flash 180 kilometers per hour top speed there immediately, and talk about safety as well. So here we are. I was telling you about 5 drive modes on offer. I get distracted. So here, there's an eco mode, which is about efficiency. There's comfort, there's individual, and there's dynamic, and there's an off-road mode. We are driving in dynamic, which it says high performance. Basically, in dynamic mode, the engine is that much more eager. The gearbox is slightly more aggressive in terms of shifts, and then I'm hoping that, yeah, it is working. Yeah, lane keep assist works fantastically well on almost all Volvo cars, and so it does on the XC90 as well. So like I was telling you, the drive mode, they alter the engine, the gearbox, the suspension, because it has air suspension. So in dynamic mode, the suspension is slightly on the stiffer side, the dampers are, and obviously it drops the ride height as well for sportier performance, and it alters the steering wheel as well. And you can see the steering is actually kind of light, and left foot on the brake, right foot on the accelerator, revving the motor. Come on, wheel spin today, wheel spin, wheel spin, wheel spin. Very little. Body roll is quite well contained, but I have to tell you, this steering wheel is so amazing. Firstly, it is light at low speeds. It weighs up beautifully well at high speeds, and it's so freaking accurate. It's unbelievably accurate. It's neither too light, it's neither too heavy. It is just right. The feel and feedback is just phenomenal with the steering wheel. It feels so good to drive this heavyweight car. I can't believe it. A Volvo which has a steering wheel which is so interactive. When did that happen? But yeah, the steering wheel on this car is lovely. It's absolute love. I like the way it drives. The handling is nice because there's so much grip on offer. It's obviously all-wheel drive, but Volvo will sell you a front-wheel drive version, not in India though, abroad, because this is the B6. The B5 actually gets front-wheel drive, and the engine also gets slightly lesser output, but you know what? I want the T8 excellence, but hey, I'm asking for too much. Any which ways. So the ride becomes very nice as you speed up. So it becomes flatter at higher speeds. Lower speeds, that stiffness can be felt, but the stiffness aids the car in better high speed stability as you go faster and faster and faster. And I know like this thing might be a little dirty, so we're going to use the spray. Come on, fly away. Okay, that is discontinued. I feel very sad whenever I see an Endeavour. I'm almost crying. Very nicely done car. Insulation level so good. It feels so silent, it feels so refined. It's unbelievably amazing, this Volvo XC90. I love it. I absolutely love the XC90. This is what a Volvo should be, not the latest ones which kind of drop the soul away without drive modes and stuff like that. Okay, now let me talk about safety. Of course, it's a 5-star NCAP car, and I mean, it is at the forefront in terms of safety, and this was the very first car under new ownership, under ownership of GLE from China, wherein they decided to just focus on safety. I mean, that's what Volvo has been doing for donkey's years, but that time they did not drop driving fun, but now they have dropped driving fun as well, which is going to come to halt. What happened?
Disconnect ho gaya.
Left foot on the brake, right foot on the accelerator, revving the motor, and off we go. The price of this car is 1.09 crores on road Mumbai, and for the recharge you pay 9 lakhs more, which is 1.18 crores. And it seems very expensive for what it has to offer, because see, when you see it in isolation, the engine is absolutely lovely. It's fantastic, but unfortunately we don't live in an isolated world, so I can't help but get the BMW X5, the Mercedes GLE, as well as the Audi Q7, the recently launched one, into the picture. And when you get that, you realize, oh no, Volvo, what have you done? Those cars are running 6-cylinder engines and have more power, better performance, also come with diesel engine option. Okay, I'm sorry, Audi does not do the diesel anymore, but Volvo does it, not in India, abroad. However, in front of the rivals, it kind of feels lackluster, underpowered, and it doesn't have the grunt of a V6. Yeah, this 4-cylinder just does not have the effortlessness and the smoothness of a V6, but yeah, this lane keep assist works beautifully well. So there's lane keep assist and there is adaptive cruise control. You press this button, we are into cruise control right now, okay? And when I press this button, I can decide how much distance I want to maintain with the car ahead. That's nice. And from here I can increase the speed, so I've just put it at 90 kilometers per hour. Now this is adaptive cruise control. What it does, it maintains a certain speed when I've turned on cruise control, which I have done at the moment, okay? It's telling me to apply steering wheel because we have left the steering wheel for quite a long time. Now when it's doing 88 kilometers per hour, it can sense that there's a car ahead which is driving at a slow speed, so automatically it will keep decreasing the speed. This is what is adaptive cruise control, right? Very nice indeed. Okay, now if I press this button, I have turned on pilot assist, which is another level. You know why? Pilot assist is two systems together. One is of course the lane keep assist, and then adaptive cruise control, both of them working together, telling me that I need to leave the car will manage on its own, because it's automatically accelerating, it is automatically braking, and then it is automatically also turning the steering wheel of the car. Woo! At certain speed, you do get a pushback into the seat. That's also quite nice. And it has got cross traffic alert. It's got a slew of safety systems. This is a very safe car, and Volvo has done a fantastic job in terms of safety. However, it's just not exciting enough. And then to sum it up, it's the most expensive car in the segment and the least fun as well. So that's kind of a bummer. You know what I'll do? I just get into eco mode. Just look at the tachometer. The tachometer goes home. You know why? Because either you go big or you go home. So the tachometer is like, I'm going home because I'm not going big, because obviously when you're in eco mode, things kind of become hush hush hush. Here, why is this guy coming in reverse? I don't know. Or maybe that is reverse cross traffic alert, which this particular Bolero camper has, wherein automatically reverses into people, so that I don't know. Anyways, the length of this car is longer than the length of this Volvo, with all those amazing aerodynamic bits hanging out from the rear. Steering is so good. I cannot believe the steering wheel is so amazing. I'm so impressed by this Volvo. Only thing is, I really miss the T8 excellence. That would be amazing. Come on, let's take a U-turn. Wait. Okay, he's giving me the signage. So we don't need all these ADAS systems when we have fellow commuters always helping us to decide when we should turn, when we should not. That's like a lane keep assist of its own kind. And onto the throttle, kitna bhi throttle maar do, it will just never ever wheel spin. That is the level of grip on offer from this all-wheel drive system. Beautifully calibrated, and it's got air suspension both at the front as well as the rear. Now you're like, aise kaun bolta hai, both at the all of a sudden the engine is like, I am going to go aggressive and make some noise. We are in eco mode, by the way, the mode I hate the most. So I'm just going to get into dynamic and off we go. Yeah, so I was telling you now, this has first I should laugh on my own joke, then I should tell you guys as well. So basically air suspension, I was telling you, is both at the front as well as the rear, because you must be thinking, ye kaun bolta hai air suspension, matlab air suspension. No, there are some car companies like Volvo which puts cutting air suspension on only on one end to save on cost. That's kind of funny. Now it's not going to turn because I was already very aggressively turned, so that did not work as well. Somehow I'm not finding the lane keep assist to work as good as I saw it in the XC60. Maybe they've updated stuff in the XC60 which they have not done here, which is actually a blessing in disguise, because whenever Volvo will update this car, I know for sure they'll decide like, you know what, these guys are having fun by turning this dry mode into dynamic. Let's remove the dry mode. Then they will be like, oh my god, ESC Sport is also offered. Let's remove that as well. And then after a few years, they realize, you know what, people enjoy twirling the steering wheel and going around the corner. Let's remove the steering wheel as well, just to cut down on fun and improve safety. So guys, this is my vlog of the Volvo XC90 Inscription. This car definitely needs a massive update, a comprehensive one. It started to show its age, but hey, it's still amazing. If you have a lot of money and you want safety, well, this is the car to get. But if you have a lot of money and you want safety along with fun and performance as well, then there are a lot of other options in the segment as well. This is Volvo's flagship car, and as a flagship, it certainly feels a cut above the other options available from Volvo. I really like it, only I feel that it should have been a little bit more aggressively priced, because Volvo is about value for money as well, which is kind of lost because they kept increasing the prices time and again after seeing, oh my god, XC90 has become successful, let's jack up the price. Bye bye.